Right, so, I'm gonna turn my volume down a little bit. I'm still very new to treating when I record a YouTube video to streaming. I'm so used to talking as if I'm streaming that when I do a video like this, I still treat it like a stream. But yeah, what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna run through all of the Aladdin characters. Barring Aladdin himself, I'm going to do a separate video on him when he becomes more widely available to everyone, which should be either today or next week. I'm going to check, actually. Right, so 6 shots, so it should be around like next week that he should become available for everybody. But yeah, we're going to take a look at Jasmine, Jafar, and Genie in today's video. I would do a separate video for each character, but to be honest, I don't have the time to do a separate video for each character, so I'm gonna run in and do a race with each character. I haven't really done much with any of them, to be honest. I've done the most with Genie, but I don't know, I haven't been that lucky with shards for them, and I'm focusing more on other characters when it comes to ranked and stuff. None of them really fit my kind of playstyle. I mean, none of them are necessarily bad. I'd say, as far as the actual quality of the characters, they're all good. There aren't any that are going to be gracing the D or F tier this month when I come to do the tier list. But I would say Jasmine, the reason why I'm starting with her, she is the weakest of the three, and I fucked up the minigame. But yeah, that's kind of why she's not as good as the other characters. It's because her unique is kind of the same as Mowgli's. So when you're in first, it doesn't do much of anything. When you're not in first, it's a better version of Mowgli's, because it actually homes in and actually hits people. Mowgli is much easier to avoid. Outside of that, there's not much about Jasmine that makes her great in terms of speedsters. Like, she's not on the same level as someone like Mike. She's not on the same level as someone like Belle, even. I would say she's a little bit worse than Belle. Like, her stats kind of put her in the same range as like a Belle or a Lilo or like a Woody kind of character, but she doesn't really have the unique to back it up, or she doesn't have the She doesn't have anything else on her kit outside of her stats in general. So like, I don't think there's much to really say, oh yeah, we're gonna play Jasmine over any other character. You would play her over Mowgli, obviously, but who's playing Mowgli? Who, at this point in time, is playing Mowgli? No one. He's the worst character in the game. So when you're comparing a character who's just come out to a character that was out at launch and was the worst character out at launch and is still the worst character in the game, when characters around them are getting buffs, the only thing that makes her better than Mowgli is her stats. And
new places we'll see.
Even then,
Do we have a deal?
looking at my Mowgli, yeah, he's five levels higher, but they're both like middle of the road, master of none, and even the stats aren't necessarily better than Mowgli's. It's just that the unique does home in on people, and you are seeing a lot of Jasmines in the wild. I think that's maybe because she's just easier to get shards for, even though, as I'm showing off now, I haven't been that lucky with shards for any of the Aladdin characters.
I am prepared to do whatever is necessary.
And I talk about Jafar next. First of all, his character model is just weird. It's just very weird. He's got a weird neck. His neck is usually covered up, so having his neck be... I'm fine with the spindly limbs. Like, that makes sense, because you're seeing him without the cloak, without the robe. But his neck creeps me out a little bit. But like, I feel like there's been a lot of characters. Like he looks like an anteater. He looks like an aardvark. But I feel like there's a lot of characters that look a bit jank. So I think he's definitely in the same camp as like Jesse, where there's something a bit uncanny valley about it, about the character design. I should have done the charged. Why I did that in first, I don't know. But yeah, Jafar is a great brawler. He does everything a brawler should do. He stuns people. He has like that big wall, which is impossible to avoid in a narrow area like we're in at the moment. In the more open tracks, I'd say he doesn't really perform as well. I'm confused that he is a brawler, not a trickster, considering his role in the movie. But as far as the actual design of the character as a whole, just making him fun and making him make sense, I wish they went a bit further with Jafar. Like, how many things he does in the movie. Like, he turns into a snake, the giant hourglass. Like, I feel like they could have gone a bit further with him animation-wise. In terms of how he functions as a character, he's fine, I think. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with him. I don't think there's anything necessarily groundbreaking about him either. I don't think he's bad. He's gonna be fairly middle of the pack. Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a bad Aladdin character. I'm gonna do another race with him just because I want to get a win.
Victory will be swift and absolute.
Anyone want some Herculate for the road? This is
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be one of those characters that
this time
needs stars on him to become really crazy. Because at 2 stars he's good, and there is potential for him to be great. But yeah.
go ahead,
In a class which has characters like Sully and Pete,
You fool. You'll regret that.
I think Jafar just kind of gets left behind, and any character that is any brawler that comes out now has to be pretty insane to match those characters.
Incinerate. Observe. Yes.
Come on, Elizabeth. What are you doing? Ow.
Certainly. Over here.
So sorry.
Hello.
Oh god, we're not gonna win. Oh well.
I will not be second best for long.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Jafar is it does confuse me that he's a brawler. Like I would have made Jasmine the brawler. I think I would have made Jasmine the brawler. I would have made Aladdin the Aladdin the speedster. I would have made Genie being defender makes sense to me. Genie being defender, like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it still goes to 50. I'm not really bothering with.
I am prepared to do whatever.
I've flown a magic carpet. Oh, I just love racing.
What is it? Regulated. I don't care.
Maybe of service.
Don't worry.
The rewards just aren't good enough
Guy races, he grants wishes.
for the time investment that it takes. I don't think the rewards are good enough for the time sink. To be perfectly honest.
Everybody, on three. Psych!
Rear engine go! This is gonna be a great race. I can do it. I know I can.
Kinda wish I brought my lucky cricket.
Somebody call for a diamond in the rough.
As much as I'm not showing Aladdin off today, from what I've seen and what I've played in Regulated and stuff, he seems very good, but he seems like another character that's gonna need to be 3 stars or over.
That's what I'm talking about.
Genie is the best character of the update. He's the best character of the season. By far.
And a one.
The reason why is because his unique is the best and the most unique skill in the game. What it does is really interesting. Essentially the regular activation.
Let's make some.
Well, we'll see here. The regular activation is one of 3 things, depending on where you are, position-wise. If you're 3rd or below, it'll be a significant speed boost. If you're in 2nd, it will be a rocket that fires at whoever's in 1st. And if you're in 1st, it's going to be a barrier.
Improvise magic sound effect.
But where it gets really interesting is, and I didn't get to show it off there, so I'll go in with Genie again on another race. But the thing that what makes Genie so good is the charged activation. The charged activation of Genie's skill will give you 3 normal skills back to back.
Remember 10 and 2.
So basically you can be popping off normal skills and it can give you 3 boosts in a row, which will basically act like the rocket boost that Buzz has. And it makes Genie one of the most interesting and unique feeling characters in the game. It may not be as like animation heavy and cool looking as a lot of people probably want it, but it is a lot more. It makes Genie a really fun, unique character and makes him one of the more interesting characters in the roster. And also opening stuff up like this makes you think how interesting are they going to make characters in the future that are like absolutely bonkers.
Here goes. Yikes.
Like, we know we're getting...
Come on, Genie.
Oh god. We know we're getting Ursula. We know we're getting Triton. We know we're getting... I don't think anyone from Frozen is going to have that insane
I'm gonna remember this forever.
skills. They might... Elsa might have some insane looking skills. Like with like freezing, putting up ice barriers or whatever they make her do. But I think in terms of crazy skills, as in what the effects are of the skills, I think we'll be looking at season 7 or season 6 for that.
Everyone's aware I'm what's known as an insurance risk.
Good luck, everyone.
I'm not afraid of anything.
This is gonna be a great race.
Because
This ain't the roller rink.
I'm deciding my own future.
This is not Black Pearl.
I think the characters in that are a lot more fun to theorize about. Like it's more fun to theorize about, I think, specifically Ursula and Triton, because I think those are the two that are going to be really good. I think already for that. We'll be looking at Brawler Triton, obviously. Defender Eric. I think you can swap those out. I won't be surprised if they're swapped out, but that's just what I think. Actually, I think Triton Defender, because he's like an overprotective dad. Speedster Ariel, of course, because Ursa ain't fucking quick. She's not going to be a speedster. I have no clue what they'll do for a unique skill for Ariel. I think once I get Genie up to 3 stars, I'm definitely going to start using him a lot more, because he's the character that I am invested in. He's the character that I want to play, and I want to, get better with, and invest time into, out of all of the Aladdin characters. But I don't want to commit properly until getting I don't want to commit too heavily into Genie with Aladdin around the corner and knowing that Aladdin is probably going to be very good. And I already have a defender that I'm going to be investing time into, and I'm going to be putting defender stuff into as well. So do I invest heavily into Genie now, knowing that I'm going to want to put Aladdin stuff into Aladdin himself and defender stuff into Buzz going forward? Because, like, with Aladdin, he's the only trickster that I'm going to want to put stuff into. If he's good, if he's really good, like, if he's better than... Not even if he's better than Genie. I think if he's on par with Genie, then he's going to be the Aladdin character that I'm going to want to invest in. Because there are currently no tricksters in the game worth investing in. And that's... Because, like, looking at... Looking at the pool of trickster characters, like, who's a trickster? Also, Hercules is great now. I might do a video on Hercules at some point, because he's actually great now. But looking at the tricksters, I mean, my highest one is Mulan. And she's terrible. Mulan is bad. Bo Peep might be better now, but the last time I played as Bo Peep, she was not great. Angel I haven't put any time into, but the reason why I haven't is because I don't really like her. I don't really like how she plays. Daisy is terrible. Daisy is one of the worst characters in the game. Randall is just okay. Jack is better now, apparently, but for the longest time he was bad. And for the longest time, Figment was the worst character in the game, and I think now has only just slightly etched out of that position. And I massively overhyped Hades. According to a lot of other people in the Disney Speedstorm community, he's going to come out and be underwhelming. He's going to come out and be bad. So I completely overestimated and said that he was going to be game breaking. He was going to be like the best thing since sliced bread. He was going to introduce a new meta. He was going to be completely insane. The reality is, I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but if Aladdin comes out and is an absolute banger, and then we get another absolute banger trickster that's also a Hercules character, when both Hercules characters just got buffed to get back into the meta, and especially Hercules, because they fucking did a Sully with Hercules. I'm not going to talk about him too much because I'm going to do a video on him. But yeah, they did an absolute. They did some of the best. Like, they actually fulfilled the movie. Hercules actually went from zero to fucking hero. He's insane, and I'm sorry for the swearing. It's something that I've got to get better at. But yeah, Hercules is great now. Hercules is genuinely great now. But yeah, I would say keep your Aladdin stuff. You know, invest in Genie or Jasmine. I would say invest in Jasmine as much as the game needs you to for the season tour. We're going to be doing the new season chapter on stream tonight, by the way. But invest in Jasmine as much as this needs you to, and then I would say conserve your bread, your loaves of bread. Conserve all your Aladdin gear for when Aladdin becomes unlockable. For when you get Aladdin, and then pour all of your stuff into him. Or wait and see if he's your playstyle, and then if he turns out to be good, put your stuff into him. If he turns out to be bad, put your stuff into Genie. And it all comes down to whether you invested into Buzz as well. If you invested into Buzz, or if you have Buzz at a high level, then you don't need Genie. But I think Aladdin, if he's a good trickster, he will probably be the only good trickster for a while, unless if Olaf comes out and he's an absolute banger. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments below if I'm right about, you know, my opinions on these characters. If I'm right on, you know, just conserve your stuff for when Aladdin for when you have unlocked Aladdin, and see what he's like, and then you know, put stuff into whatever character is better out of him or Genie, whichever character you prefer, basically. Or if you really like Jasmine, or you're just horny, then put your stuff into Jasmine. I don't know. I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully enjoyed. Peace.